Some of y'all don't know nothing about that, but that's a little old school, a little that's not even old school, but some of y'all know what I'm talking about. And if you ain't feeling it, it ain't for you. So anyway, happy Valentine's Day. I just want to first start off by saying the greatest love is agape from above. I'm very grateful to be here. I love all of you and even the people that's not on the call, I love them too. But if they ain't on this call, get them on the call because they need it. Trust me. One thing about seeing all the reports, I see where everybody customer count is. So it's kind of like, yeah, you probably should be on the call. But anyway, I'm grateful for all of you that jumped on. This is going to be an exciting call. You guys know, um, normally we don't even record this, but we're really just recording this for internal purposes because this is the first time we're doing this training for the new comp plan and for the services that we have. So that's why this is an important training because there's new comp plan, there's the services, and there's also a change in points, right? And so these are things that we got to really prepare for as we move forward. We haven't done one since November. Can y'all believe? It's been since November since we've done an advanced customer training, but you guys buckle your safety belts. We in for a wild ride today. And I know some of you got your Valentine's Day plans. And, I know, Mr. Chris, I know you got those plans, right? I know you got them. I'm just messing with you. So, yeah, I got some plans today, but, you know, just hang with us for a little bit. Take some good notes, take some good screenshots. This is going to be an interactive call and a very hands on. I'm actually going to go to the website. We're going to do some different things today. So, first and foremost, let's do this. I'm going to pull up my slides here. And as I pull up my slides, first of all, keep that energy, right? The love energy. And it shouldn't be just on this day. You should be loving every day. But, I know it's a great opportunity. And I don't want to get into preaching, but listen, let me tell you, you should always be in the mood for just loving and encouraging others. And, that should always be a thing, a mantra. But I don't despise the small beginnings. Maybe today somebody needs to be told you love them. Or, maybe somebody today needs to be like, do I feel love? Can somebody tell me? And it's okay for that too. So y'all heard it first from the RVP. I love y'all. All right. So don't let nobody tell y'all different. So let's get right into it, y'all. Let's get right into it. I'm gonna pull up my slides. We got a lot to cover. All right. And if you've never been on this training before, you know that there is a lot of information, but there's also a lot of very valuable things that I do not put just anything in these slides and in this training. I make sure that it's stuff that is valuable that you need to know. All right. So we're going to jump right into it. We're better together. As you guys know, it is Valentine's Day, February 14th. And the first thing I want to tell you is elevate Orlando because right now is a great training. We're going to have a great training. We're going to have a good time. But the Elevate Orlando event, just understand, is the master of all training. It trains on every subject, every product, right? There's booths, you ask questions. I know everybody here understands, but I really wanted to make sure before I get into a customer training, you got to know what's the main training, and that is the main training. And I'm going to put in a plug for that throughout this call. Now, pay attention to the camera. All right. It's kind of old school, right? It's not the y'all probably using your phone. So, you know, you want to make sure you take some good screenshots and good pictures because I'm gonna have some things that I don't share on other calls. All right. And I won't share on other calls. Now, let's talk about all the customer sources, right? Number one is yourself. Number two is people when you're in your meetings and people don't want to become an IBO. You need to get paid for your time. You need to share the opportunity of ACN, but also if they don't want to be an ACN, get them as a customer. Then there's friends and family. And then number four is people you do business with, right? Your hairstylist, they do your taxes, right? Miss Parker doing your taxes, right? Um, you know, whoever's you doing business with, make sure they're doing business with you. Or I will say this, at least they're giving you a chance. That should be a no-brainer. At least giving you a chance to do business with them. All right. And they do business with you. Number five is, of course, social media and referrals. We'll get into that. Now, the customer points, as you know, have changed. Make sure you know all of the customer points. That's going to be very valuable uh, into this training because, again, as we're talking about these services, you got to understand the points and how you get the customer bonuses. That's very important. Okay. Very important. So make sure you take a screenshot of that because customer points are very important and you got to know the changes. The good news is there's some good changes like the gas. Gas used to be 1 point, now it's 2 points. Y'all hear me? California and Michigan. Make sure you know that. That's important. All right. That's a big difference. So let's understand the points. All right. Now, this is just a hypothetical, guys, of where you're at. Let's say you get your 20% done. Let's say you get 60 services with an average of a $60 bill. This is just a rough average. And then, of course, you're at 720 bucks a month of residual income. That's 8,600 a year, okay, annual. Now, very small example, just kind of giving you a good understanding of the numbers and remember, you got to think long term. You know, residual income usually takes 3 to 4 months. And I say this if a person, I noticed a difference when a person is building their team and they got 25 points out the gate because they started getting that residual income. We have a young lady, she has about 50 impact customers, and this young lady has a couple of grand in residual income just from 50 impact customers. So you just have to understand the services and which ones pay out the most as well, but go for that higher percentage as well. Okay. Now, as you know, you do get 4% on your team. And then beyond that fifth level, you have to be RVP, SVP, and of course, there's Platinum SVP. Now, understand the billing. This is something that people do not pay attention to in the beginning, but I tell you, it is very crucial that you do. Because if you want those big top positions, just understand the billing amount that you need, the minimum monthly billing on your customers. So it's all about revenue. Now, if you want to take a picture of this, remember the bonus structure has changed. Three services, 8 points is 400, and six services, 16 points is 1,000 bucks. And then every three services, 8 points, that's 500 bucks. It's unlimited, guys, and there's no cap to what you can make. So make sure you understand that. Just understand that the payouts are weekly, and then as long as you have that customer in, I always say by Wednesday night. I don't even go into Thursday. By Wednesday, before, well, 5 o'clock, really, I say, you should have that customer in. If you do have the customers in by Wednesday, they will pay out that week, that Friday. And remember, that's exciting, especially for people in sales, because they can get weekly deposits. So this is just an example here. Now, I want to say something. You know, I talk about this when we do our advanced customer training. Just understand that you got to have a goal and a mission. What do I mean? Well, how many children do you want to get fed? That's a goal. Let me give you an example. When I talk to my family and my friends, I say, listen, I need to feed, I'm on a mission. I got to feed 5 children this week. So now that I have a goal, I go to my people and I say, listen, this is my goal. I need help getting there. All right. I need 5 children. That's 5 services. So you need to have a goal. What's your next promotion? When is your regional director date? So you need to have that as a goal. Maybe you got a revenue goal, or maybe you have a why or a temporary why. Maybe some of you are behind on some bills. Maybe you need a car. I don't know what that looks like, right, for you, but just understand you need to have that goal when you're talking to your people. Of course, you got to know the frequently asked questions. That's very important. When you're trying to push a service, it's best to know what questions people have. So make sure you do that. You know the frequently asked questions on services that you're pushing out there. You got to know customer incentives. That's very important. And I've noticed I put in addition, don't be cheap with your business. What does that mean? Well, if I don't mind giving somebody a $5, Starbucks, I don't mind that. It's your business. You can do what you want. And you just have to know how to work your business. All right. So don't be cheap with your business. Make sure you treat it like a big business. You got to know the product key benefits. And also, number five is very important. A lot of people miss this. You got to pay attention to the industry marketing strategies. So what do I see out there? You see Vivint commercials. I'm paying attention to them. You guys notice I played Chime videos, right? Soulfy videos. How do you think I get them? I look out there and see what they're marketing and how they're marketing. Okay. That's going to help you. You know why that's going to help you? Because these companies pay millions of dollars to learn how to capture people's attention. So if you pay attention to the market and say, oh, wow, they're marketing this way. I'm going to tell you, I told this one time, but I'm going to tell a quick story real quick. Apple, when they first started, don't turn off your cameras, Android people. Just hold on for a second. Hold on.
Don't start.
Apple is a marketing genius. Um, Android has the better specs, hands down. They do. I admit that. Y'all got it on camera. You got it on recorder. But Apple is a marketing genius, and they're the first ones to come out with this marketing scheme that they do. Nobody else did it. And now people are starting to file suit. Now everybody's doing what Apple did. Apple was the first to really show how you feel when you have a product. Not all the specs, not the gigahertz, the this, the that. They show how people feel when they have that product, right? When you have the AirPods, people are dancing, right? They're moving around and looking at with their family, talking with their family. They're the first to do that. They cater to people's emotions and how they feel. Then all the specifications, and it has this gigahertz and this megahertz and this camera is the blah 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 blah. So because of that, Apple became number one in the marketing strategy. So why am I saying this? Well, you got to remember it's not all about the fine little details. People buy emotionally. So you got to be able to market like that emotionally. All right. So I hope that helps you guys, because that when I saw how they did that, it was genius. It was genius. So have urgency, have a fear of loss. Deals are better when there's a fear of loss, right? I told this story last time, when it was a wing stop, it was a special wing, right? And it was good too. And I was trying to go get that, but I was late. And it kept saying limited time only, but I kept thinking, they're gonna have it next week. They're gonna have it in 2 weeks. They just saying that just to get my dollars, right? Well, guess what? When I went in there, they didn't have it. And you got to make sure that when you're talking about your products and you're talking about a specific deal, you got to let them know that it's going away. All right. This may be going away. You got to make sure you jump on it because this deal is not going to be there. That helps people create an urgency. Now, I won't go through all of these, the seven canons of customer acquisition, but nevertheless, the main ones are number one, be your own customer. And of course, the last one I would say, obviously, integrity, expressing gratitude is very important. But I want everybody to see what that says right here in yellow, hands on. Never just send your website. That is the quickest way for you to just show that you don't really care. Here's my website, everybody. Just sign up. No. When the last time you seen that happen? You got to be hands on with your customer. You got to walk them through. You got to be there to know. That's why you jump on trainings like this, where we're going to be detailed about what you got to do, because I guarantee you're going to get the customer if you're hands on with them. And they're going to remember that experience and they're going to refer more people. You know, the whole thing about direct sales, y'all, the reason why direct sales works is because it's peer to peer. You know that, right? It's peer to peer. If they wanted something, why won't everybody just go to the commercials and just sign up through AI and that's it? Nobody, no. Direct sales works because of relationship. And we actually get better retention because of relationships and how we made someone what? Feel. Once you understand that psychology, you'll be a master at getting customers. When you make people feel a certain way, they'll become your customer and then they'll refer more customers. Is this making sense, everybody? Okay. Now, the basics of the training, of course, is mastering the language. I notice people don't master the language. Of course, there's a product trainings out there. I always tell people, listen, we talk about this in the basic training. I'm not going to go too far into this, but if you're still not your own customer, that is the reason you don't have a lot of customers. Let me look at y'all for a second. If you're not your own customer, that's the reason you don't have a lot of customers. I know that. Unless you get lucky, right? Or something happens and maybe you got it was able to get somebody. But at the end of the day, the people who have their own services, they know the process. So they're more confident to talk about it, right? So I noticed that when people don't have a lot of customers, they don't really talk, they don't really get a lot of customers because if they don't have their own services. I noticed that. All right. Because people always ask these questions. Well, Mr. Stella, do you have it? Mr. Walter, do you have it?
Absolutely.
Miss Robertina, do you have it? Well, Miss Faustina, how does the service work? And you be looking at them like, oh, well, like all other services. You fumbling and mumbling. You know what I mean? And they like, Chris, what's up with all the benefits and the features of ID Seal? And you looking at them and it protect your identity. Well, duh. It's called ID Seal. Duh. You think that's the answer they want? If you don't know what the service does, no wonder why you're not getting customers. I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. And how do you sign up? Oh, how embarrassing, right? When they really want to sign up, and you like, here's my website. Just go sign up. Oh man, you know, you gotta know the words that work. This works. I got a friend that signed up yesterday, and my brother, he signed up yesterday, and he's been in ACN before, right? But he did it his way the first time he was in ACN. So he said, JT, this time I'm gonna do it exactly what you tell me because your way works. So he say, listen, he signed up yesterday. He already has 6 customers right now. And guess what? Today, he's gonna have another 3 because he's going to his family and he's saying, listen, I need a huge favor, y'all. This ain't for play. I'm working with a program and I really need y'all help on this. You got to get something. You got to help me out. And because of that, his family is getting services. He like, JT, this work. I said, yeah, of course it works. That's why we teach it. So if you're not mastering the words that work, you're doing yourself a disservice. You know, when I find out that people really start really paying attention to this, when they up for a big promotion, I guarantee you, let me tell y'all my personal thing. When I was on my way to RVP, and you can get big residual at RVP. Oh, trust me when I tell you, I didn't have no problem begging. Right, Jessica. I was like Keith Sweat. I was begging. I was
Thank
begging for service. I really was. No, I'm being serious. I said, man, I would call up people like, hey, Michael Bond, listen, bro. You my brother. I appreciate you, but I need a huge favor. Michael, I got you on my Christmas list, bro. I got you on my Christmas list, but I need a favor today. I need you. And people were just getting services. Yeah, bro, what you need? What you got? Okay, okay, yeah, I could get that service. I try it out. Yeah. They were helping me. You don't realize that that works until you really trying to get it done, trying to get a goal done. I'm telling you. So I'm telling you guys, really use that. Use that. And again, you need to know what you're working for. That's the key. It says insert your why, not insert JT's why, or insert Miss Estella's why, or insert Walter or Jessica's why. Does that make sense? You got to insert what's important to you, what you're trying to do. All right. Now, when you do that script, here you go. Here's a good tip, guys. After you ask them for the favor, and they're like, "Yeah, of course, man. I'll help you out." Well, you can pull out this quick 5 minute survey here and just ask them really quickly. Say, "Hey, man, listen, I just need 5 minutes of your time, and I'll be out of your hair. Listen, who do you have for healthcare right now? How much you pay roughly? You don't have to give me a direct number. Okay. What about wireless? Who you got right now? Oh, you got T-Mobile. Okay, cool. How many lines? Is it under a contract, or are the phone paid off? Okay, cool. How much the bill is? Do you have any identity theft at all, or some kind of protection for your name? Oh, you don't? Okay. What about the internet? Who do you have? How much you paying? What about home security? Do you have that? Okay, you got the ring. How much you pay? All right, cool. Energy. I know you got electricity and gas. Well, who's the provider? Okay. How much you pay roughly? All right. Well, do me a favor. Send me a quick screenshot of your bill. Let me see what I can do. If I could do something for you, great. If I can't do something for you, no problem. All right. And then that's it, guys. Get the survey and you're done. You're done. Say, listen, after the survey, this is very important. Y'all take a picture. Y'all see the camera. Take a picture. Immediately after the survey, say, thank them, number one, and let them know that, hey, I'm going to just do a quick analysis, Walter, and I'm going to search for some promotional deals in your area. I'm going to do this immediately. All right. Now, Miss Estella, if I see something that jumps out at me and I know you want to hear about it, I'm going to call you back immediately if I
you.
find a promotional deal. You
Okay.
guys see how simple that is? And then when you call them back excited. Like, man, I found a promotional deal for you. I found a service that could be of value to you. And bam, you'll get them as a customer. This works. So, Jessica, you had your hand raised. I'm gonna get to some Q&A in a minute, by the way.
Is,
After this, I'm gonna get to Q
is
and
the survey available on our back office?
No, that's through Agape and Pieces of a Dream. That's why you on the call. See, we the only ones that do this. By the way, I want to say this to y'all. We're the only ones that do an advanced customer training. I want to tell y'all that. You know why? Because we're a blessed group. Everybody else still trying to catch up. Like, well, how come y'all don't? How y'all get so many customers and y'all team ain't 20,000 people? 10,000 people because we know how to get customers. That's why, because we do trainings like this. I don't care how many people you recruit. If ain't nobody getting no customers, ain't no residual income. Trust me, I've been in this business long enough to tell you that. So after you get them as a customer, remember what I said earlier. Don't be cheap with your business, right? Go ahead and give them this certificate. Now, I'll send this stuff out to you, by the way. If y'all need the certificate and you need the survey, I'll send it out to you. Okay. But the certificate is cool. You put their name in and say, just thank you. And listen, you ain't got to be fancy with it. Send it in an email if you have to. It's better than nothing. You know what I'm saying? So send them a certificate. Say thank you for helping me out and giving my services a try, man. That means the world to me. Thank you. See, a little thank you go a long way. Just ask all the married men on here. I guarantee you, Marcella Bond, Michael, I know he hear me, on the call. If he's saying thank you and all the sweet things today on Valentine's Day, whether it's Valentine's Day or not, I guarantee you she gonna respond a lot better. So all the married men, y'all know, if you saying thank you and all these things, oh yeah, you love it. Ain't that right, Rita? Ain't that right? I know. Okay. I was gonna go somewhere, but I'm not gonna go there. I ain't gonna do that today. Yeah, I'm good. The top five services. These are the top five you should be focusing on. Make sure you focus on these. These are your bread and butter. I'm kind of excited. I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it. I'm excited that we have less services, to be honest, because I think people see ACN and they like, man, it's such a buffet of services, but they don't know where to start. So I actually like zero in on something so I can master things. So make sure you master these five services. We're going to talk about them today. Let's talk about Vivid, number one. I love Vivid, one of my favorite services. It's one of the high point getters. Remember that. All right. Now, remember, right now we have a bonus with Vivid. Until when? The 16th, y'all. Y'all see that? Until the 16th, we have this bonus. So understand, free doorbell camera, you get a $200 gift card. Make sure the customer understands that they're going to get a $200 for just getting Vivint. Right. And if you're an IBO, you get $200 because if it's your account. Now I'm going to play a quick video, and I look, man, Vivint is amazing, guys. I'm going to play this quick video and I'll be right back.
Introducing the Vivint Outdoor Camera Pro 3, the most advanced outdoor camera on the market for preventing crime. With advanced AI detection, unmatched visibility, and radar-powered crime deterrence. Our radar technology allows the camera to sense people and objects three-dimensionally, which enables our vehicle protection software to deter people based on proximity to your car. Compatible with the Spotlight Pro and designed with a finely tuned 4K sensor, you can see it all, anytime, through the Vivint app. With AI and radar working together to prevent false alerts, you'll get notified only when it matters most. Always professionally installed, with 24/7 recording and no batteries to replace ever. The Vivint Outdoor Camera Pro 3 is accurate and reliable to protect what matters most. Just one part of a complete Vivint smart home system. Vivint.
Love it. See, another reason why I play videos, guys, is because it's not just for you guys, actually. I'm actually doing it for customers because I still use these videos for customers. I don't just use it for just us. I use it for customers just in case I want to show them and highlight something. So videos are very important. Make sure you have that in your repertoire when you're out there getting customers. And remember, there are 5 points per Vivint account. Make sure you know Carlos. Carlos is a good man. He helps me out all the time. Send him a text, introduce yourself, say, "Hey, Carlos, I got this going on. Can you help me out?" All right. Now, this is some of the verbiage I use. Now, you see that camera, you may want to take a picture of this because this is verbiage that I may use. Like, listen, you can lower your homeowners and renters insurance. You get $200, right? That's all you need to put up there. Get $200, lower buy your camera, get free equipment. There's free installation, free activation. Notice it says offer in soon, creating that fear of loss. This is important, you know? So, you got to give it a sense of exclusivity too, right? So keep that in mind. Now, here's a good snapshot. I've shown this before of how Vivint is better than all these other ones. The other one's real weak, I may say. Real weak. So when somebody says they got Ring, I say, man, you need to call Vivint. Let me get you a custom quote. And if you don't like it, cool. By the way, I want everybody to hear my language on that. The reason why I get a lot of Vivint is because I make it seem like there's no pressure. Okay. I just want them to get a free quote. That's all I want. I just get them on the line with Vivint. So what I tell them, I hope y'all listening, please listen. What I tell them is I say, hey, listen, Vivint is the best, the number one on the market. They're going to do a custom quote for you, all right, based on what you want. So I can't give you an accurate price because I don't know what you want. There may be things that I can't just tell you the price, but we have a sales team. So I'm going to get you on with my guy. I'm going to give him my broker code. That's how you get exclusive deals through me. You get exclusive deals. He's going to take care of you. If you like the quote, I'm going to say this again slowly. If you like the quote, go ahead and schedule someone to come out. Because if they come out and you decide you don't want it, there is no obligations. Just cancel it. You guys get where I'm going. Most of the time, when they come out and they see the cameras and they see how the touchscreen look, they like, oh man, I ain't cast true. I want this. Ooh, man, I hope y'all took a note on that. That's how I get most of my customers. I don't sit there and answer all their questions about Vivint. That's not my job. I'm not tech support. Most people just take too much time trying to explain the service. It don't make sense. Just get them on the line. That's your job, is just get them on the line. And here's another one. You can take a picture of it. This is in your back office, by the way. You can definitely take a look at that. It's a comparison chart of specifications. But again, I don't get into all that too much. You see the cameras and all that. Listen, the best thing is to show them. Imagine you showing somebody this system. They're like, man, I want that system. If you have it, you can share it off. You can show it off to people. Okay? You're just sharing what you have. Now, these are some things that you can consider when people are moving, right? I think people miss this, y'all. If you're taking care of elderly parents, right? Like me, myself, right? Maybe you got a teenager. Somebody got teenagers in the house and they want to see what they doing, or they sneaking out the house, or, stuff like that. People get the security for different reasons. It's not just to prevent somebody from breaking in. There's other reasons. So make sure you know those other reasons, okay? And then, of course, like you said, get them on the line. This is for upgrades, guys. If somebody wants upgrades, you can take a picture of that. That's the number for upgrades, if they need upgrades. And of course, if you want to get a text message from Vivint, they'll send you, whenever they have a promotion, they'll send you the text message as well. And here's a key tip. There is a protection plan on the equipment. If they sign up upon ordering. For that plan, it's $7 a month, and $10 if they sign up after that first enrollment of them starting Vivint. The reason why this is important is because if something happens, Vivint just comes out there for free, right? But if not, if you don't have that protection plan, you got to pay $100 for a technician to come out and fix stuff. Just want to throw that out there. All right. And this is my brother Marshall. Always, when you have a Vivint story, make sure you put it out there. If you get the gift card, put it out there, guys. Say, man, I got $200. Thanks, Vivint. Put that out there. Keep it simple. And also, here's a tip. If you get a customer and they're on Facebook or anything like that, and you want to give them a shout out, tag them, ask them if you can tag them, and watch how that explodes. Because what's going to happen is it's going to tag their network. And their network is going to be like, oh, I want those savings. I want $200. Watch how that happens. So any questions on Vivint before we move forward? This is a new format I'm doing where I'm going to give you guys the floor to ask questions per different topic. Any questions? Y'all good? All right. Let's move on. ID Seal. Now, ID Seal has a sizzle video. I'm not going to play actually the sizzle video. And the reason why is because, listen, if you go to, and I meant to show you guys this earlier. If you go to your back office, right, and you go to products, all of that is in here. Okay, so if you go to identity theft and then go to click here, there's all the videos right here, guys.
JT,
right here, the sizzle. Yes,
I'm
yes,
sorry.
ma'am.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
The video that you showed with the new camera for Vivint, is that on our back office? Or is it just
No,
on
that's actually on the Vivint YouTube page.
Vivint YouTube? Okay. Thank
Yep.
you.
Yep. So right here, you guys, you go here and just share, and you can get this video. You can grab that video. So I'm not going to share that video to save some time. Okay. So just so you know. All right. Now, with ID Seal, they are lowering the price. They lowered the price. Keep that in mind. You're saving a lot more money. So just, make note of that. And remember, you do get rewards for ID Seal as well. So if you get 5 ID Seal annuals, you will get yours in a direct deposit, kind of the same as we get for Zooming. But here's a good snapshot. You guys can take a picture. I saved this on my phone. You guys hear me? I saved these snapshots on my phone. And the reason why is because when I'm talking to somebody, they're like, well, what's all the coverage? Well, let me show you. We got more coverage than, this is crazy. We got more coverage than anybody out there. So just show them this. Say, man, we got this. We got all the coverage you need. And they love it. So make sure you save those snapshots in your phone. And of course, there's the home title monitoring. We have that. But I want to play a quick video. And I want everybody, how many of you have heard that, my bank, they alert me and they do things and blah, 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 blah. Right? I want to play a quick video. This just happened 2 weeks ago. This was just 2 weeks ago. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's too long, but I just want you guys to get a good idea of what's the kind of stuff that's happening. And man, this would have got me, in all honesty, the way they got these people or this lady. Check it out.
If you have a debit card or a bank account, you need to know about this right now.
All the money that you had in there is gone, and you actually owe Chase $895.
Nearly $160,000 stolen.
You think of your bank as being someplace that you put your money so that it's safe, but it's not safe.
And the woman you're about to meet can tell you why.
I'm not a young person anymore. I really was relying on just kind of a comfortable life at my age.
But a few weeks after moving in, she says she got a text saying her bank, Chase, wanted to know if she'd approved a $35 debit card charge from another state.
So basically, it's one of those fraud texts.
That's
Did
right.
you approve this transaction?
Yeah, that's all it was. Just a minor irritant in my day. And of course, I said no. I don't approve of it.
Then the phone rang, showing Chase Bank as the caller, she says. And on the other end,
Hello, ma'am. This is Miss Barbara from Chase ATM. I'd like to know if it's okay if I give you a new card. And I said yes.
a new debit card. But she says the woman told her before she could issue it, she'd need to verify Moss's identity by sending her a text message and having her read the numbers in the message back to her over the phone.
And I would just repeat those numbers to her, and she'd say, "That's great. Thank you so much, Miss Moss."
Her new card was supposed to arrive in 1 to 2 days, but Moss says the next day Ms. Barbara called, saying FedEx was having trouble locating her home, something Moss says wasn't surprising to her since she'd just moved. Over the next week, Ms. Barbara called several times, Moss says, each time saying there was a problem with delivery of the card, and each time asking Moss to verify her identity by reading back the numbers from those text messages.
So I'm gonna
If you
move
have a
on after that, guys. You see where I listen. I don't know about you. I'm gonna just speak for me for a second. They probably would have got me just because it sounds legit. Chase Bank calling, I get a text. Okay, verify because they do that. They want to verify. They send you a text. It sounds legit. So people need ID seal. People need ID seal. So I highly recommend you have videos like this in your back pocket showing people with AI and all of these different things that are available for people to easily just steal your information. I mean, people need this and they need a more comprehensive one with $3 million in coverage and no deductible. Okay. So, like I said, it's incredible what we're able to do with ID Seal. There's a lot of great perks with ID Seal. We won't get into too much of them today because it's a lot of information. You guys know how to get there. But are there any questions on ID Seal? Anybody have any questions or any challenges with ID Seal that you are witnessing and how we can get through them? I can share with you, but any questions on ID Seal? So everybody know how to get ID Seal customers.
JT, I have a quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
So you know how there is the rep for Vivint, Carlos. Is there someone like that for ID Seal?
No. ID Seal is one of those you got to dive in and know. You got to know it pretty much yourself. And I always show people, me personally, I with ID Seal, my biggest seller is me having it, to be honest, because I actually show them, I open my portal and I actually show them all the different things and the alerts that I get that says they remove my personal data. I get alerts like that all the time. They remove this, they remove that, they remove this. So me doing that, they're like, wow, that does a lot. Yeah. It's one of those services you got to dive in for sure. Yep.
JT, just
Yeah.
as an example, let's just say for the scenario with the bank, you know, typically you do have that interaction with the bank. And unfortunately, you know, we're in this time where it can, you know, be fraudulent. But when you go back to the ID, you know, your account, because I think they typically will reflect if there's some fraudulent stuff going on with it. And then it tells you at the bottom to contact. It'll kind of guide you on what you need to do.
Yep.
But at that point, I think that because I haven't really been in that situation, that I'm not sure what happens after the fact. You know what I'm saying?
No, they have a full restoration team that takes care of everything for you.
Yeah,
Uh,
right.
Yeah.
yeah,
Everything that you need. Yep.
yeah.
So, Mr.
Yep.
JT, if I
Yeah.
may, I
Yeah.
actually have been in this situation. I actually used to be with Chase Bank. I was, I had fraud committed against me while with Chase Bank. Even now, my current bank, we recently had a situation a couple of days ago that with that exact situation, the bank calling me. I don't give out any information. I tell them I'll call the bank back myself directly
Yeah,
because that way I know who I'm talking to.
you're right, Ella. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt because I noticed here lately that on a lot of the services, they do send you a code. And sometimes you're like
Yeah.
skeptical
Yeah.
about that. And you don't
Yeah.
have a choice because you're waiting. So some people are using it to really identify you. But
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep.
now
Mm-hmm.
they're dipping into that. How do you know if that's even legit? You know, that's kind of scary because that's what I've been bumping into. I said everything has security codes now. They're asking you to put in this number, you know, like
So we're selling ourselves is what we're doing right now. This is the reason why we need to get more customers and get out there and spread the word about ID Seal. Everything we're saying is all valid because that's why we all need to be talking about it.
yeah.
Actually, because it's very daunting. Anyway, um, I know you guys got questions. I want to make sure I answer all the questions because we got to move on to the other services. But go ahead, Miss Faustina, Miss Joy, Martin, and we'll.
Just really quickly, I was
Yeah,
just going to say that having ID seal and, the alerts you get, and for us talking about it on these meetings and these Zooms, it really causes you to be alert. On
yeah.
Sunday, I was in church and my friend's husband, who's not even my friend, reached out to me and said, I accidentally sent you a $50 cash app. Can you refund it to me? And I'm like, why me?
Mhm.
But I was alert and I told him, you know what? I'm in church. It was after church, but I was interacting with people. I said, I'll reach back out to you later. And
Yeah.
I forgot to call him about 6 o'clock. He calls me and said, hey, what did you find out? And I'm like, I looked on my phone. I said, normally when I have a cash app, I get
Mhm.
an email, a text. I said, I don't
Yeah.
have any text from Cash App. You didn't send me any money. And I
Yeah.
ended it there, But what
Yep.
I was trying to say is having ID seal and us talking about it, it really makes you alert,
Yeah.
causes your antennas to be up so that
Yeah.
when somebody reaches out asking for this information, it really causes you to be a little bit more cautious. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Anybody got any questions? Joy, Walter?
Okay, just real quick. I just want to add some information about the bank thing and ID Seal. ID Seal gave me a notification that I have on my email that somebody was charging
Mhm.
on my debit card or something, if that's
Yep.
real. So I called my bank and my bank said, no, it's not, is it you? And I said, no, it's not me. And she said,
Yep.
okay. So this is what they did. They said they give me a second what do you call this thing so that they will know it's me. My voice. My bank,
Yep.
they recorded my voice. My voice
Yep.
is my password. That's what it says. My voice is my password. Please verify me before they
Yeah.
charge anything else on me. But because and the next time they told you the thing, call yourself and the right number. Don't get the number that they send
Yep.
you or whatever. Call the number at the back of your credit card or your debit card.
Right.
That's the number that they call. I just want to add that.
Yep. 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 No, no, absolutely. Absolutely. At the end of the day, guys, with AI, they can do a lot of stuff. They can record your voice and your voice pattern and there's a lot of stuff that can be done. So that's why, again, ID Seal is a must to learn. You got to learn it. Walter, you got something?
Well, I was just gonna say that mine was different. Mine was with mail. When I moved from one state to the next, I already knew the address I was moving to, so I had forwarded my mail a month before I moved. So I thought when I
Yeah.
got where I was going, mail would meet me. I was there for 3 weeks and still didn't get any mail. ID Seal had sent me a notification letting me know that my mail had been sent 3 doors over, but they advised me not to go there, to actually come to the main post office in the location I
Wow.
live in.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, but just think about
Incredible.
all the stuff that comes to you in the mail from one place to the next, and what
Yep.
people you get that information from.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, thank you for sharing. William, you got something?
Yeah, I just wanted to add too that I got an alert the other day that my email was found on the dark web, and
Yep.
according to the records, it's been over 150 million people's emails like that, and that included one of my customers. When I got it, and changed the password and everything, I went and reached out to my customer, and we followed up and found out her email had been compromised. So she was thanking me over and over for getting her signed up with ID Seal, and she's going out to help me get some more customers. So, and
Yep.
that's all I got on that.
Yeah. Nah.
Good
Again,
deal.
this. Yep.
We got a lot of good testimonials that we can use in the future for ID Seal.
I mean, at the end of the day, guys, ID Seal is going to run rampant because of what's happening. I'll be honest. When ID Seal first launched, we had these people like, and even I was like, yeah, okay, I see, it's cool, it's good, but now it's like mandatory. People, everybody should have some kind of identity theft. Matter of fact, when there's a breach and they're giving a reward, a settlement, people can, if you had to purchase an identity theft, you actually get more money back in the settlement. People don't know that either. Like,
Really?
if you had to purchase an identity theft protection because of a breach, then yeah, they're gonna pay that. They'll pay for it that year. Yeah. So
What got
yeah.
me first at ID
Yeah.
Seal, I'll just real quick, in the convention is they protect your medical ID.
Yeah, it's so much. Again, guys, like I don't want to go back, but just so you guys know, I mean, there's a lot here, and all you have to do is go to the website, and simply just go to it, and you'll see all of this on here. So when you go to your website, just go to ID Seal, and then you'll see right here. Go. Yeah. And it's all right here when you get to get protected right here. It's all right here. That's all I did was took a screenshot of this and trimmed it. That's all you got to do. And just show people like, yeah, that's all I did. So let's go back to, because we're now at Flash. I want to talk about Flash for a second. Flash is going to be one of the services that we should be getting to know, right? So with Flash, we all know right now that there's no activation fee. That's very big because most companies do have to have activation fee. Okay. Matter of fact, all of them do have the activation fee. Once you set it up on the website, then you call the number. All right. Now, some things that you want to know: it is the T-Mobile network. There is no credit checks. There is no contracts. You also can bring your own device, and there's some other things like getting your own, getting a financing of a phone and stuff like that. And you can get it free, right? So we know these things. Here are some key notes before placing an order, though. You need to know these things. And I would take a picture of this to make sure you know and have it saved in your phone under Flash or your notes for Flash. The phone needs to be paid off, unlocked. You need to obtain the IMEI number off the phone. You need to bring your own, if you bring your own device and you want to keep your own number, you need to make sure that you know that. your current carrier account number and PIN or transfer PIN. You need to have that when you're putting in an order. Make sure your device is updated. That's a key one. Updated on the latest software. And I know Apple does it a lot. I don't know about Android. I don't know what they may don't need to update, right? So, because their specs are so good. But yeah.
We do update.
Oh, okay. Oh, y'all do? Oh.
Yes, we
Okay.
have automatic updates and we can set our devices to update. I'm not gonna sit back here and not speak up for us.
Thank you,
Okay.
Miss Stella. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
y'all get an update. Y'all get an update. That's cool. That's cool. So place your order and call the activation line. Okay. But here's the thing, as we go to the website, I want everybody to, look at this. Number one, before I do that, understand that Flash has loyalty. Does everybody use their loyalty or everybody know they have loyalty? Okay, let me log in. Let me show y'all. Let me see here. I'm going to log into mine. You also have loyalty rewards. Okay, so you get this with ACN and reward and Flash. Make sure you know about this. And it gives you the update. I got so many points, it's crazy. I got a lot of points. And you can just go ahead and play these deals. You can, get groceries. It's so much. I showed you guys this before. I don't want to spend a lot of time, but just know that you get a lot of rewards. If you need some food and you're trying to take your date out tonight for a special dinner, you may want to go to your rewards and they'll hook you up, right? And you can get your dinner for free if you just go to your rewards. You can do that for Flash and ACN. So you get to double dip. Every single month, they add more rewards. So very, 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 very cool, actually. So when we go to services and you go to Flash, all right, we go down here to proceed. And with Flash, there's some updates, right? They've done some updates. One thing I want to remind everybody is there are military plans. So people in the military, that's important. That came up with a guy this week, actually. He didn't know. He was like, oh, they got military discount? Okay, cool. So understand there is a military discount for people who served our great country. All right. Now, when you go to the plans, they've changed. I want everybody to see this.
Ooh.
So you still have the two for $80 line, okay, plan with 50 gigs. But I also want to show you there's now the new Flash Unlimited Family and Max. So you guys can see they extended the Max to 6 lines. I'm so glad they did that. Yeah. So just letting you guys know, that's awesome that they did that. It's 100 gigs per line.
Wow.
Per line.
Yes.
Okay. So keep that in mind. If you want to get your points up, get your Flash on. Well, I shouldn't have said that on Valentine's Day. Some of y'all gonna get that later, or maybe you won't. But anyway. All
Mr.
right,
JT, may I share this? That unlimited max plan, well, it used to be the unlimited elite. I actually had that plan, and for the exact same price, you're getting that. It was 75 gigs. They've bumped it up to 100 gigs.
Wow.
So
Amazing.
And they didn't raise the
Amazing.
price.
Amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
That is amazing.
So,
Mrs. Stella, I'm sorry, JT. Just so if you had that plan, does it automatically change to this new plan or do you have to call and get that done?
That's a great question. I went on to try to upgrade mine. So I'm in the process of seeing about upgrading mine because
Okay.
I never used the whole 75 gigs that I had.
Right. Most people don't. Most people
But
don't.
but
I
I'm
never
going.
run out.
If I can have 100, I'm working on getting 100. But you can actually go into your portal and change it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So also for my talk and text people,
Mm-hmm.
anyway.
Sorry.
They do have lines for talk and text.
How many
and then
points
that's
is
got a
this?
10.
How many points is this plus talk and text?
It's only 1 point.
Yeah, but that's still a point.
Yeah.
I thought it was
So,
2 points.
I know
but not
somebody
every,
who needs this one. That's why I was
right,
asking.
right. So 10 gigs, if you only need 10 gigs per line, lower gigs, then there you go. You can also do that as well. So, other than that, guys, I do want to go here to phones. And like I say, we won't spend too much time here, but go to phones. And right here, you can shop phones here or shop phones here on Power Cellular or Cell Platinum. Okay. So if people are looking for phones, you can go there. If they do have unlocked phones, just make sure they are unlocked if they're getting it from somewhere else. Keep that in mind.
They
I
really
do want
have
to,
good deals on this
yeah,
one.
I do want to say something too. Okay. Flash. Well, let me say this. Verizon, and please everybody pay attention because this is stuff people don't know. Honestly, Verizon nowadays they're starting to do these things where they're giving you $1,000 for your phone, your old phone, and it's not supposed to be a contract, but it kind of is because it's a 3-year. They spread out that thousand. Let me look at y'all while I'm saying this. They spread out that $1,000 over 3 years, so you don't get the $1,000 off your phone, your new phone that you just got. It's spread over 3 years because they're trying to keep you. That's the whole point. But what people don't know is that you can actually still take that device off of Verizon. If you got that new phone, you can take that device and go to Flash, actually, and Verizon will bill you for the phone. That's what they're going to do anyway. So you're going to be paying for the phone anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So you can say, hey, break it down into payments. And by the way, they do that for AT&T too. Legally, they can't captive you like that. Legally. But they're enticing you because you're like, oh, I get a new phone. Yeah, okay. But you got to know what the trade-off is. All right. I just wanted to share that with everybody because you're going to see people do that because they're getting a lot of people that way. But make sure you understand that there is a workaround for that. All right. And they can finance a phone anywhere. So,
Right.
that to be honest, it's a sham anyway because you're paying high price for an old phone because then the new phone comes out. That's why they do the whole Next program. The Next program gets you the new latest and greatest phone, but you're just jumping to. You're still paying for it with the plan. So anyway, that's all I want to say about that. All right, everybody got that? By the way, everybody got it? Okay.
Yes. If I can say something, Q&A. Oh, perfect. Q&A.
Yeah, Q&A, guys. We gotta move along a little bit because
when I was checking out the financing phones, they did limit a
Yeah.
lot. They took away a lot of phones. So the cellular and the power utilize those to finance a phone.
Yeah, yeah. And you, like I said, you can get phones anywhere. In all honesty, it's so many ways.
Speak with your leaders. We can help you. We got a few options.
Right. Yeah. There's a few options that you can do.
I have a quick
Let's
question.
talk about Zoom.
Just one quick question.
Yes.
The flash points, it said 2 to 10? Was it 2 to 12?
Oh, it's per line, right? So the first phone on a family plan is going to be 2 points.
So as
And then from
money
there,
you
it's
get,
2
it'll
points.
maximize to that point. It'll increase.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. That's what I want to confirm. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's talk about Zoom.
Okay.
This is important. Now, this is we know is a serious service for us, everybody. Okay, and everybody who's in the gas, pay attention. All the California people, you also got to pay attention because right now is a good time for you as well. Now, here is some articles. You guys see, I post these. I don't just do it just to do it. I have these saved in my phone. Notice I'm telling you how to get customers. Save these things in your phone. Actually, go find the article. I'm giving y'all my secrets. Just go find the article, the link, and save it. Okay. And you can utilize that when you're talking to customers. Because right now, I had 3 people enroll in my business yesterday. 3. Okay. And all of them are like, from Ohio. One of them is from Texas, but the other 2 are Ohio. Okay. And I just want everybody to understand because I have this information, they were like, dang, that's crazy, man. You're right. It is gonna double. And guess what? The states right here, California, Illinois, Ohio, Virginia, and Texas. So that's very key when you're out there trying to get customers or IDOs. You got to know that information, okay? Because those AI data centers are coming and they will jack up the prices. Okay, so just make sure you're talking to people about this stuff and have this. Now, of course, there's the markets right here. These are all the markets. California, wake up. I know it's early there, but y'all are on the favorable market list. San Diego, SoCal Gas, both. SDG&E and SoCal, sorry. North Cal and Southern Cal. Connecticut, as you know, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Michigan, DTE, right? This is important, guys. So you know that you can, by the way, I sent it to somebody. I have a lot of energy accounts in Texas, thousands. Do you know that Texas has never been on this list? Never. And we still get thousands of customers. That's crazy. It's never on this list. So what does that tell you? You got to know how to get customers. But it should be even easier for the people who are on this list. That should be a no-brainer for you to get customers. Okay, so I'm expecting our customer count to go like crazy after this call because, yeah, this is a time where you should be getting customers. Now, you have to open your mouth. That's, you got to do that, right? So let's talk about, hold on, y'all. Give me a second. All right, so here's a snapshot here. I'm going to show you guys. So you can know how much money you can make. There's dual commodities here. You can make some money, gas or electric only. And of course, gas and like dual commodities. So there's no limit and no max to this. You can make a lot of money. Of course, we got the power your home, get that free. We all know that, whether it be electricity or gas. Here's a hidden gem. Zoom Extras. That is a hidden gem. If you get your customer to sign up for Zoom Extras, oh, they get excited because they start getting gift cards. They start getting little prizes, right? They earn points. And they, like today, they may get a gift card for Valentine's Day. So
And the first
get them
one,
on Zoom.
if you sign up the first time, they'll give you $25.
Come on.
Upfront. Yes.
Come on. So use those Zoom Extras. If you don't know about Zoom Extras, that's a hidden gem. You got to make sure you go there. Now, with Zoom, we all know this is the map of Zoom, so you guys can know where all of the different territories are. That's in your back office, by the way, this map. And of course, Zoom is has the largest consumer footprint of any retailer in the country. So keep that in mind when you're talking about Zoom. It is owned by NRG. Everybody know that, right? It is owned by NRG. NRG own everybody. So here's some tips. Understand that there are security deposits depending on where you're at and depending on the credit and all of that. $299 refundable and $179 non-refundable is for houses here in Texas. I don't know where it is anywhere else. I know it's not that high for most businesses, $1,250, and of course deposits, refunded in 12 months if you pay a deposit. Now, if it's non-refundable, obviously you won't get it. Now, here's some exemptions. The exceptions for waiving the deposits. If they're 65 years or older, that's nobody on this call. Some of y'all looking at me like I'm crazy. That's nobody on this call. But if you have somebody who's customer, they're over 65 years and older, they can get their deposit waived. All right. They usually have to submit a ID of some sort. Okay. If they're military, active duty, then they can waive their deposit. And they have also a way where you can actually break up the deposit, but you have to call them for that. And you have to fit the criteria of low income. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Also, if you have 3 bills paid on time, you can submit that to Zoom and they'll waive the deposit. 3 of the last 3 bills. Okay. Now, also, there's an early termination fee.
The last 3 energy bills?
3
or
energy
any
bills.
bill?
I've only done electricity, but I know that we was doing that in the past, but I just keep it to electricity.
Just electricity.
Yeah. There you go. You remember you get up to 150, of course, if someone has a contract, and Zoom will give a credit of $150 to help them with that contract. Okay. So the step 1 with Zoom Energy is to get the bill first. Don't go quoting price. Somebody say that.
Get the bill first. Don't go quoting price.
Right.
Don't quote that
Because
price.
most people don't know their rate. I guarantee you. Unless they like a real energy guru and they already know the industry. They don't know what they're paying. So get their bill and say, let me see what I can do and find a promo rate for you in your area. Just keep it that simple. And then you go from there. Now, does everybody here know how to read a bill pretty much? Pretty much. The Texas people and the Michigan. I just, for time's sake, on a bill in Texas, I don't know about everywhere else, but it does tell you the average price you paid on electric. It's on the bill. It's in small, fine print. It lets you know what is the bill, basically the supply and retail charges, the rates, energy charge plus the supply, all bundled together. It lets you know what they actually paid as a rate. That's why we don't look at the rate right here, because the energy charge is a different rate. That's not the full charge or the full rate that they're paying. Okay. So just keep that in mind, guys, when you're talking to people. And again, they don't know. They think that their rate is normally the energy charge. That's what they're usually talking about. But it's not the full rate. When you look on Zoom's website, it is the full actual rate. Okay. Now, this is my analysis. You don't have to use this. This is just sometimes when I'm talking to my friend and I get them in some savings. But I always go back to the favor. Even when I do this, I always go back to the favor. Okay. And let them know my cost. So what do you need? What do you need for energy? Well, here's the quick setups. You guys, this is what you need. Notice I say on there in red, driver's license number is not accurate. I can't tell you how many times I signed someone up and I went to that credit analysis and I put in their driver's license number and they had to pay a deposit. And they're like, well, I don't know why. I got good credit. I say, well, let's try your social because that's a little bit way more accurate. And they're like, okay. Then we try their social and then they don't have to pay a deposit. I don't know how many times that's happened. So please, just go ahead and do the social. It's just better. All right. And then, of course, these are the things that you need. Now, everybody get that language down there at the bottom. I usually don't say credit check. I don't use that wording. I say it's just a soft check to see if you qualify for no deposit program. That's what I say. People don't like credit check. For some reason, it triggers them.
Because it affects their score.
Yeah, they don't like that word, period.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So step 3, go back and, of course, get them enrolled. I do want to go to the website really quickly, just so everybody can, see from the website perspective. When you go to the website, you're going to, and I know everybody pretty much knows how to do this, but you never know. Okay. You go here, go to enroll. Of course, in Texas, we got a maintenance. Of course we do. Texas is a monster, and we still get more customers. How is that? That's because somebody ain't on these calls learning how to get customers anyway.
And Mr.
Let me stop being
JT,
petty.
Mr. JT,
Yeah.
if it's okay
Yes,
with
ma'am.
you, I would like to show what Michigan looks like in addition to what Texas pulls up too.
Yeah,
'Cause
let's do that first, and
yeah,
let's
go
do that
ahead.
first.
But yeah, because for
I just
those of
want
you
to
that know someone in Michigan, there's no credit check.
correct. No credit check. Yeah.
Is
So
it
what's a
state?
zip code?
48134.
All right. So you just go here, guys, and again, um, you know, right here, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, right? The fixed plans and variable. Variable means it fluctuates. It will fluctuate, but there is an introductory. I don't want to get too far in it because it's a lot of information. But you guys can read what it means. But usually the fixed rate is what you want to go with most of the time. So right here, you can see the rates right here, and then you just choose, right? And then when you choose, it's gonna you got to get that account number that's usually on your bill, right? Yep. And then you
That's
just fill
pretty
it out.
much it.
Yep. And that's it. Yep. Pretty easy, actually. And oh my goodness, no monthly fee and a $25 earned return. Not in Texas. In Texas, our early termination fee is ridiculous. But anyway, Texas is a monster.
Yeah.
Ugh. Anyway, so that's pretty much Zoom, guys. Remember, make sure you understand that with Zoom, there's a lot of great things that you just need to know about Zoom to really get the customer. But just know, I want to leave you with this on Zoom, and we'll get it. Well, I'll ask you if you have questions. But one thing I want to tell you about Zoom, okay, is that whatever rate you see right now, remember, it ain't going to be that rate. They're going to wish they had that rate that you see right now. So even if you say, well, we're about a little bit higher than they still, once they get out of that, let's say they're in a contract and that contract does not end until the summertime, they're going to wish they had the rate that we have. You see what I'm saying? So you got to use a little bit of knowledge as well and educate them on that. Okay? Any questions? Just questions, guys, because we got to go through. We got impact next. Any questions? I want to get the questions first. Nobody have any questions on Zoom? So y'all gonna get a lot of Zoom customers? Amen. Yep.
I have one. Can you show us the formula again for how you come up with the amount of the bill? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So all you do is take the total amount of the bill and you divide it by the number of kilowatt usage right here. And that's on every bill. Like right here, it says usage right here, how much power they use. So the final bill, final amount divided by the number of kilowatt, and that'll give you the rate, the actual rate. Now, within and taxes don't really mean anything because taxes don't. It's only like $1. That's not really an indication. Now, unless they're like a balance forward where it's a lot, they're late like dramatically, then it really won't make a difference. Yep. So,
okay.
yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. And notice my analysis. I just, all fees included, give them yearly savings, and then I tell them how many kids we feed and all that stuff. But that's just my analysis because that's how I approach them. Thank you for helping me feed this amount of children. I appreciate it. So, yeah, Tina, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a quick question about the project feeding kids and food banks. How do you know how many meals? I mean, do we know if somebody gets into the specifics? What do we say? It's like just a ballpark number? Like,
No.
or
I usually say initially when a child gets fed, when we initially get it, and every time they pay the bill. So I
okay,
usually I just say initially if they're in a 24-month, that's 25 meals. Initially we got it and then 24 payments.
okay.
Yeah.
So it's one meal per payment basically, and then plus the
Initially and then
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And
That's
that
how I
hasn't
do.
changed, yeah, because I wasn't sure, like, is it changed now or is it different? So, but okay, so we stick to
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, let's talk about Impact. Impact is another big service. All right. I use again with the articles. You gotta know what's out there in the streets. You gotta keep your ear to the streets. You gotta know what's going on. That's the only reason I pay attention to certain things. Now, I don't watch the news and a lot of stuff. So anyway, that's a whole nother monster. But I do keep my ear to the streets on my business to know what's going on out there. So the Wall Street Journal just put out this article. So you should have something like this in your repertoire when you're getting customers. Now, of course, you got to be accredited. We know that every single year you got to be accredited every year. So you got to redo it if you haven't redone it yet this year. Okay. It's usually on the anniversary date when you did the accreditation. It does cover all comprehensive major medical. These are just some highlights. We show this on the training, but you guys know the highlights. But some other things you want to pay attention to is the generic medication that has came out. Virtual care, right? 24/7 with Doctegrity. That's there. That's here now. And of course, short-term therapy. That's very important to people that they get 3 visits. Mental health. Very important to talk about that. And this is coming too, where they're going to be able to scan their vitals, take their vitals. This is going to be awesome too when they do that as well. Now, one thing I want to share with you guys, it's very important. Number one, having Impact is very, very important. Let me tell you why. Real true story that just happened today. My mother, she needed a prescription, right, from the CVS down the street. And I told her, I said, okay, yeah, I'll go pick it up. And I go there, and, well, I'm on my way there. And my mother tells me, well, They're saying something like it's 30 something dollars. I said, what? $39? Nah. So what do you think I did? I said, well, I need to take your impact card because we need to see what's up. I said, you know what? Hold on. You know what I did? This is what happened today. I'm gonna show you. I went here and I actually went to prescriptions, my prescriptions, and I went in here and I actually looked for it. This is it right here. This is what she needed. And I actually looked. I said, let me check, let me see, because I don't believe them. Oh my goodness. See, we would have overpaid $40. It's letting me know where it's at, where I can go. That's why this portal is important. That's why having impact is important. Because see, your customers are gonna have these questions. Trust me. They're gonna have these responses too. They're gonna be like, well, I thought my prescription is charging me more. And then you're gonna get that phone call or that text. That's why being your own customer helps. So now I know. I know where to pick it up. Go to my trusty Walmart. Even at this CVS, they still $16, not $39. See, they would have got me.
That's so good
You
to
know
know.
what I mean? I could have, could have used that on the date tonight. You know what I mean? Just joking. Just joking. So with impact, you got to make sure, of course, always you ask the question. After you ask the question and you go to the website and you put in their date of birth, after that, can I say this very loudly? Be quiet. People talk too much. You're not, especially if you're not an impact expert, be quiet. Just if they like the quote and they're excited and they want to learn more about it, then you can get them on Tuesday Impact or, get them in front of me. I'll help you, do an impact. Don't get into explaining the weeds because once you start in the weeds with explaining and you mess up and you tell them something that's not true, that's it. Done. And you not thinking you're telling them something that may deter them actually. Just keep it to the basics and say, you know what? I want to make sure you get the right, information on it. So we're going to do a whole consultation because the reality is, guys, I'm going to tell you something about impact. The reality is they're going to have question after question because it's healthcare. They're not going to sit there and do a 5-minute and they'll sign me up, unless they know 100% what it is. Yeah. They're not going to sit there and ask one question. They're going to keep asking questions. Well, what about maternity? Well, what about this? And I take this medication and you're going to get into the weeds, guys. Okay. So give them the quote. And then if they're happy, they're excited. They're like, whoa, okay. Okay. Then you can get them on a webinar. All right. And then if they have any other, let's say you can't get them on a webinar, please use this video. Just use the Jeff Street video. It's a 22-minute video in English and Spanish. Because he's speaking Spanish with AI. So use that video. It's Impact Health Share and Explain. It's on YouTube. Save it to your notes. And if somebody wants to know a little bit more, then just send it to them. If you just really want to send them some information and they want to know more about it, you can send them that because it's done very well. I mean, it's hitting all the basics that they need to know. Does that make sense, everybody? Any questions on impact? Any? Go ahead, Ms. Rita.
So And I want to dive into it more, but just in a short
Hmm.
scenario, if I had a friend that recently wasn't able to get his medication. I'm going to introduce this to him because although he has a current a pre-existing condition, it's a really rare
Yeah.
disease that he has. It's
Okay.
unfortunate, like he wasn't able to get his medication. And I don't remember the quick scenario, but I'm going to introduce it to him. It still can be beneficial to him, even if he has a pre-existing, right? I mean, at least he'll get to be able to answer or to get some of the questions that he may have. This type of illness that he has
Hmm.
kind of, it just completely shuts him down. So he can be at a presentation and then he won't be able to talk. He'll literally like get,
Hmm.
and it's a really rare thing. I can't even remember the name of it,
Yeah.
but presenting it to him at least will give him the opportunity to have some
Right.
questions, right? Even if he has a pre-existing
Right.
condition.
Right. At the end of the day, they're gonna have it's just presenting the information, making sure they're well informed, and they're gonna make an informed decision based on what they feel. Because at the
Mm.
end of the day, there are people that have pre-existing condition. They're not excluded. They can still get the service. They can still, um, you know,
Benefit.
get their still repricing, even if they for that specific condition. It's just not shareable to the community.
Mm.
Um, and then, of course, if they've had treatment in the last 36 months, again, like I said, it, it's best that they get on a call and really learn.
Mm.
And so, because we know the repercussions of not informing people of what they need to be informed about. So I just let them make that decision.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
yep, yep. Miss Faustina, and then Miss Jordan, then
Yes,
we got to
sir.
move.
Real quick.
Yep.
Um, the experience that I've had, especially with people in the Ghanaian or the African community, is which sometimes it can be they like the hand holding,
Yep.
which I try to do it, but sometimes it can be a little annoying. So what it looks like when I'm talking to them about signing up, they're so focused on what they're going to pay monthly that they don't pay attention to their out-of-pocket expense. So
Well,
they're all about, no, I don't want to pay too much. Let's do the 10,000, for example. And then I'm explaining to them. So I'm just saying this so that whoever has a customer, please be sure to stress to them that when they sign up for that, that means they're going to be paying that 10,000 out of pocket before the bills will be available for sharing. Because that all of a sudden when it comes to that, they acting all surprised, like, oh, I have insurance. Why am I supposed to be paying this? So it's good to get educated, and it's good for them to be, just like you're saying, for them to be educated before they sign up, because it's
yeah.
and then they like to talk, so then
Mhm.
they can tell someone,
Yeah.
oh, this doesn't work, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it works. They just didn't pay
Mhm.
attention. So
Yeah. That's why I spend time on it. That's why I actually do a whole presentation and explain it to them, so they know. That's all it is. It's just explaining it to them. What they decide to do, that's totally up to them. But I let them know. The more you educate them, the better. Go ahead, Miss Joy.
I had a question from
Yep.
a potential one yesterday
Mhm.
about the deductible. If you
Yep.
don't consume the whole, like 100, 10,000, it
Mhm.
doesn't go the next year, right? I
No.
mean, you have to start over again.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Right.
Just
Yeah.
one,
But
I told him, yeah,
but
the same thing, but I
but
said I was gonna check.
here's what I want everybody to please recognize with impact. It's better to be proactive than reactive. Okay. So when somebody is saying, well, I don't know if my doctor, if they get it, have everyone do the wellness visit, please. Start with the wellness visit. Have them do the concierge and let them set up an appointment with the doctor so they can do their way. I always recommend them doing that first because once the doctor sees the relation, that builds the relationship with the doctor. And then that's it. Because they're going to pay it either way. Impact's going to pay. They
That's
either
a
pay
good
it up
point.
front or they, that's what I would recommend for everybody. Say, hey, do the well. I did that with a guy. He was like, yeah, man, the doctor wouldn't take it. I said, he's like, so what do I do? I said, listen, set up a wellness appointment with the doctor and Impact if you're worried, and then just do that. And then they're gonna bridge that gap. And then from there, they're gonna be like, wow, you paying me in 13 days or you paying me up front? What? Oh, I want to take this.
That's a
I'll
really
take it.
good point.
Yeah.
I
So
like
that's
that.
my recommendation for anybody you sign up. Please tell them to do their wellness visits,
Okay.
and it's just to build that rapport, and that'll get in their labs. So
Awesome.
yeah. So we're now going towards the end. Thank y'all for being patient, but that's why we do this once a month. Okay. Social media. Now, social media, you can use all these different channels. Canva is great to use on social media. If you don't know how to use Canva, there's a lot of tutorials on Canva. And, just ask someone. They'll kind of guide you through it. You can ask me. I do Canva. Kiddo is a good program as well. Um, you know, Social media is very key. Obviously, ACN has the AI that does help. And in the back office, there's a lot of videos. I mean, a lot of videos. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, this is, all you got to do is just, go to the AI to, here, let me go to it real quick. You go to training. You can go to train. It's really in a couple of places in the back office. But even if you go, there's a social media. There's a bunch of. You can go to the document library, and it's all in there. Actually, you know what? I'll just do it like this. Go to latest updates. If you go to latest updates, it has all of this information here. And then right here it says AI training. You can go there, So yeah, it's all here. You it's a lot of modules. It's a lot. So there's a lot here for AI. So we won't go into all that. You can definitely go down the rabbit hole, growing your network with social media. You can go down the rabbit hole with this thing. CRM and prospecting, there's a lot. Okay. So take the time to really go through it, and that'll help you, learn the AI component. Like I said, with the AI, you just got to train it to make it more like you.
Create an account.
Yeah, you have to train it. So this is the main thing, is it training yourself or training the AI to think like you. And so you got to fill it out, all that information. That's the key. All right. Now, obviously, after you help people, getting referrals is part of the business where I think people miss the boat. Because after you help somebody, you helping somebody with their electricity, remember, you have a goal, you have a cause. So let's say I want to feed 5 children this week. And I got Miss Joy to help me with one of the services. Well, now that Miss Joy has helped me with one of the services, and maybe that's the only one she can do, well, now I'm saying, thank you, Miss Joy. I'm going to give you a certificate. You've helped me. I only need 4 more. Since I need 4 more, do you have anybody you can put me on a text with or connect me with that that could help me get closer to my cause? Anybody that maybe I can help? And they will help. Okay, that's how you keep the train running. So referrals are actually a really big part of this business. And I would recommend that you guys really, we call it tap rooting and recruiting, but it's also tap rooting in customers. Okay. Any questions on that? Any questions? No. Everybody good?
I
On
just
the
want to say
referral
my
part,
customers are all referrals now
Yep.
yeah.
from
Yep.
my old ones. Yes.
Yep.
On the referrals, I had my dad show his company his energy bill, and I got 10 customers just from that.
Wow.
Yeah. Referrals are very key in any business. But you got to keep the train rolling. A lot of times we get the customer and then we stop. No, if you have, but again, that's probably because most people don't have a goal. You stop when you don't have a goal. But if I have to feed 10 children this week and that's my goal, I'm going to tell people with the right script, right? I'm going to use the script to tell them what I need. And then that script works because now I can ask them for referrals. But most people don't do the script, right? That's the reason why they don't get referrals because they think, oh, you're just trying to save me money and whatever. Cool. That's great. And you may get a referral, or most of the time you won't because you don't have a cause. But what do we do when one of our little ones, right? In my case, my nieces and nephews, when I'm telling y'all, man, I'm telling you, I done had so many in the last 2 weeks. If they need some money, they got some benefit for the helping for baseball and this and that. Do you know they send a text to all of us, the uncles, and they send a text, and I'm like, man, they racking it up. So why can't we do the same thing for our cause? People will die for a cause. Trust me. The problem is people trying to be a salesperson in this business. You trying to sell them on rates and promotions and all of that. No, you need to tell them what your cause is. What is your cause? That's how you get more customers, y'all. I'm telling you. If you have a
JT,
cause, I'm telling you. Yeah.
I have a little quick story, but about 10, I don't know, over 5 years ago, I had one brother, and he has like, I don't know, maybe like 7 brothers, but they're all been my customers for 10 plus years. But this one brother, I said, for every referral you give me, I'll give you an incentive. I said, to help me out. Until this day, he'll call me. I have another referral for you. And I said, if I get the business, then I'll give you like a gift card. And sure
Yeah.
enough, till this day, he'll call me and
Yeah.
he'll say, hey, they're going to be calling you.
Yep.
That you should be getting called this weekend, and it works with him. That's just, he grasped onto that. And even if it's just $25, they'll just say,
Yep.
hey, I know, and he's had the service for a long time. Anyway, carry on though. It's funny.
No. Good point. Great point.
Yeah.
And with that being said, remember what I said earlier about being cheap with your business? Most
Yeah.
people just too cheap with their business. They don't want to help. Let me say this. I know I'm being recorded. When there's a thing on a quiz, on the Zoom Energy quiz that says incentivizing and gift cards. You know why that's there? That wasn't there initially. It's because someone was dishonest. So what I am going to say is, if you're going to say, hey, it is your business. If you're going to say, hey, here's $25 a gift card, make good on it. Because if you go out there and you say, hey, Zoom, my company is giving gift cards and blah, my company, right? And then you don't do that, they're going to call the company. They're going to call Zoom. They're going to call ID Seal. They're going to be like, hey, this person, they promised me my $25 gift card and I haven't got it. That's what happened. So Zoom had to protect themselves. And they put that on the energy quiz to make sure they protect themselves from people like us out there saying, well, I'm going to give you a gift card. and then they don't do it, right? So that's all I'm gonna say about that. Don't be
But
cheap with your business. Listen, I give gift cards all the time. I
yeah.
even I even pay the first month on some of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, this is what I do in my business. This is how I get more customers.
Let
Like
me
I
give you
may
a
pay
trial
the
period.
yeah, I may give you a trial period. I'm very creative. I'm like, hey, you want Impact Health? Here's this for the application fee. Let me give you this. Like, I'm very creative with what that's what I'm saying. You got to get creative and get customers. That goes a long way. So anyway, one
And
last
then maybe
topic,
pay
guys,
the
and we got
difference in the termination fee. Let's say if they have a termination fee, you can also
I
help.
had people do that. I've done that. I paid people's whole termination fee, but I'm not recommending that for everybody. But you got to
Yeah.
know your audience. You got to know who you're talking to. It depends on the person. That's why I say it's not a cookie cutter thing. But anyway, what I'm saying is don't be cheap with your business. Don't be cheap. This business is supposed to retire some of you. This business is supposed to retire your whole family. How is it going to retire your whole family and you be cheap with your business? Like you treat it like a side hustle. Come on. Like,
Yeah.
let's get real. We only pay $30 a month. Stop it. Anyway, let me go on. Let me move on. Okay, Ms. Joy, I know you got your hand raised, but we got to move quickly because I got one more
I
thing.
just want to add to that one. The one that I get
Yes.
from Zoom Extras, the gift cards, I give that to my customers who referred to me, who give me referrals. A lot of those I
Yeah.
keep them and I give them to. They don't ask for anything, so I just give it to them and they keep referring.
Yeah.
And I gave $25 to those who give me more than one referrals or they keep giving.
Yeah.
I give them 25. I've been giving
That's
that.
it.
That's why I have a lot of
Exactly.
referrals.
Treat it like a real business. Everything's a tax write-off, by the way, if you treat it like a real business. But, if you treat it like a hobby, it costs you money. Anyway, let's end it on this. Let's talk about fintech really quickly. Fintech is coming. We're not going to, obviously, we don't have a lot of information on that. We do. That's why Elevate is important, right? So you can get the information you need so that you can build your business the right way and get the right information. They're going to have a video that they're going to play and they're going to be able to give us. I already have a video. I just haven't released it yet. I have a few of them, but that was just something I did on my own. I haven't released it yet, but they are going to have a video, an ACN video. So I'm excited about that. They are going to give a lot more details and a lot more information that we're really going to be excited about. But you got to go to the Elevate event to even get that information and to get ahead of the curve. Now, at Elevate event, remember, they do have invited only events. They got the RD and above train the trainer. That's funny. Leadership training, okay? And then they got the co-founder executive luncheon as well. That's on Saturday. So Friday and Saturday, they have these special events. Now, to get to the luncheon, you need to understand there are qualifications for that. You need to have that 200 customer points, which is why we having this call. Because some people can probably get it if they utilize some of the things they learned from this call. I'm going to say that again. Some people can probably get it if they utilize some of the stuff from this call. All right. Pre-reg, of course, Miss Estella gonna qualify for that. We already know. Open line customer production. We should be qualifying for that. We'll see. We got to get our customer count up. And of course, also our SVPs and above. All right. Now we know about fintech. I want to play you guys. This is a new video. This is another fintech company. And remember, you got to pay attention to how these people are spending millions of dollars to capture people's attention. All right. This is a new one. I haven't played this one. Remember, we've done Chime, we've done SoFi, but here's a new one. So I'm going to play this video real quick.
Remember shutter shades and the mustache craze? How about the mannequin challenge, the Running Man challenge, the Harlem Shake, and the sepia filter? So artsy. Oh, and this, whatever this was, whatever any of this was. You've graduated from all that stuff. So why do you still have the same bank? It's time to graduate financially to Ally Bank, where your money grows 2 times faster, as you used to say. #goals. So open an account with the bank that's your ally.
Graduate to a new bank.
Remember,
Got new boyfriend, new girlfriend. So you guys know I share this here. These are, and the reason why I share this is so you guys can be prepared on what talking points about fintech. What's the comparison? You guys can definitely take a screenshot of that. I do share this a lot on my presentations whenever the mood is right, but just understand these are things that, you want to know about fintech. And I've shared this already. You guys have seen it. It's a lot of money in banking, right, Ms. Faustina? A lot of money in banking. So banks make money on a lot of stuff. So it's exciting that we're going to get this opportunity in this market. So again, as we end Q&A, we'll end here.
Can you go back to that previous video? I mean, screen, my thing was acting up. That next one back.
That
Thank you.
one?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, the screen usually act up when it's Android. So all right.
No. So no. I'm Android. No.
Yeah. So with Q&A, I want everybody to do a Q&A
When you
before.
least expect it, I'm coming.
Yeah, I know. I want to watch my back. Sleep with one eye open. I get it. So we're gonna do final Q&A for anybody who has any questions. But if y'all haven't remembered this video before we close out this call, we're ending it at 2 hours, right at 2 hours. All right. I thank y'all for being patient. But there was a video that I gave it to you, Ms. Joy, as well today. But I want to give you this video because this is a good video, I think, even for talking about national, but also talking about the unity of this business. I think this is very powerful as a multicultural video. So I want to play it, and then we'll end it on the Q&A.
We come from different cities with different goals, from different backgrounds. We come as dreamers, innovators, leaders and teachers with unique talents and perspectives. At ACN, we understand that difference is not a line that divides us. It's the bridge that unites us. And when we come together, we create a space where purpose takes root and futures take shape. One service, one conversation, one decision. That's how it begins. We are more than entrepreneurs. We bring hope. We ignite dreams. We put people first. We are connectors. We are ACN.
We are connectors. So I want to thank y'all for being patient. And really, I hope you got a lot out of today. I know it was a lot of information, but that is the reason why, number one, I stayed up all night, making sure we updated on these slides. But I love what I do. I love what I do. And this is fun for me. And I just hope everybody really utilizes what you learned today to get those customers. Because I feel like customers are really simple. if we just know what to do. That's
Yeah.
all. So with that being said, any questions before we end the call? Ms. Tina, you had your hand raised.
Okay, it's a little loud here. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
I just wanted to thank you for putting this together, because those are things that, especially when you're a little more seasoned, we've heard it before, but we keep forgetting to do this. And that's so powerful, because we always talk about other things, and this is the basis of our business. And to
Yes.
cultivate that and keep, I mean, we talk about consistency, leadership, but that's the consistency in customers. That's what we need. And I really appreciate that you just pointed out those details again, so we can
Yeah.
implement that. So thank you.
Amen.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, it's my honor, honestly. Thank you. And thank you
Thank
for
you.
your leadership. Go out there and
Thank you.
finish out your 200 points.
Exactly. Now I have the ammo for that. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna go out
that's
there and
right.
do that. Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. Any questions? Anybody have any questions? Go ahead, Mr. Sterling.
Not necessarily a question, just wanted to thank you for this, for all of your efforts and everything, putting this together. Even though you used Apple equipment to do so, we definitely appreciate
It was
all,
working well too,
we
by the
we
way.
appreciate all your efforts,
Works well.
and
Works well.
we thank you. And the way that we will show our thanks is by going and getting more customers, and we are all working. We have a challenge going. So Ms. Parker, I see her here today. Mr. Johnson, we've got people that committed to a 200 customer point challenge for the event. So I'm glad to see all of them here. The people that took that challenge. It's good to see
Yeah.
them here, because they're not just talking. I'm watching their mouth, and they're talking with their feet and with their actions, and not just their mouth. So I just
Yeah.
want to commend everybody for being on this call today and moving your
Yeah.
business forward. Thank you
Yeah.
for this platform.
No, thank you. Thank you for your leadership. No, I'm excited, man. We've consistently gotten one of them the top end customers, and yeah, we very much talented group. But I feel like we got another gear. We can definitely get a lot more customers for sure. So yeah, anybody any questions before we go? Anybody? Any questions on any of the information? Everybody good? I can't wait till everybody have at least minimum 150 customer points. Minimum. That should be like a minimum. Like, come on. I just did that just to do it. Any other questions? Everybody good? You're on mute.
Another comment. I can't wait till everybody has 200 services, because
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
different. It hit different when we have these 100 and 200 services instead of points,
Absolutely.
especially with
Absolutely.
the current compensation plan.
Remember what I said earlier this week? We finna find out who really gets customers, because you can't pad it with a bunch of points saying, oh, we get a lot of points with the annual ID seals and all that. No, we're gonna see who really get customers. So I'm excited. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about this team. I love you all. I appreciate all of you and all the work and things that you do. But let's go be great, man. Let's go be great. Let's show everybody that this wasn't a waste of time. Because we got some people that be like, JT, you're not doing a Saturday? No, I'm doing my advanced customer training. I have a commitment to that to do. Commitment goes a long way, by the way. Some people just don't know how to commit these days. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic. And I'm talking about that on Valentine's Day. Interesting. All right. Y'all be great. Since nobody has any questions, I love y'all. I appreciate every single one of you. Let's go be great. Go enjoy your day. Tell people that you love them. Okay. Tell your people that you love them. You never know when that time is no longer here. Okay. So I appreciate you guys. Have a good day, everybody. Your call to action, go get some customers.
Thank you.
Go get some customers.
Thank you.
All right.
Happy
God bless y'all.
Valentine's.
Bye. God bless
Thank
you
you so
guys.
much.
Happy
Happy
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's.
Valentine's
Bye,
Day.
Bye,
all.
everybody.
Love you.
God
Bye.
bless you. Love you.